Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. Big up yourselves. Welcome to another Kopish collab. There's only two people that aren't a fraud, and you can see them both in front of you. Everyone else is not here because they are frauds. But the show must go on, Hassan. How you doing, bro?
Hey, listen, you just need the best member of Tom and Hussam and the best member of Kop-Ish to come together and we can make a show. We don't need any of the other bums. To be fair, Matt is not a bum, but we don't need, the other ones.
Still got his back.
We can run it anyway, you guys. We just me and Brittany.
No, hopefully they'll be able to join us later on. No Tom today, but hopefully we'll have the other boys at some point. Hassan,
yes,
what's happening, bro? In the world of Liverpool, how are you feeling on this Friday afternoon?
I'm feeling great. Yesterday, Jordan qualified to the World Cup for the first time ever. Liverpool are Premier League champions. We're gonna sign Florian Wirtz. We're spending the money. Kerkez is shaking his ass violently. Shout out to Deji for Liverpool Football Club. So we've already sorted 3 positions 6 days into the transfer window opening. So it feels great. I love the news coming out of Liverpool right now, and I feel really good about next season. I feel really good about this transfer window as well. We just need to keep going and keep taking care of business when it comes to transfers.
That indeed. Big up honesty. That is the reason why you can see Hassan dripped out. You know what I mean? So big up as well, bro.
Yes.
Big up.
Today is Eid. See, it's Eid and I still made time for Kopish.
You did indeed. So let's do this, bro. So I want to start by asking you a question.
Ask me.
Arsenal are heavily linked with Rodrigo. Diaz is... No, I wouldn't even really call it being heavily linked away. Today, though, Diaz came out and said, Barca or no one. Apparently. Meaning the only way he'll go is if Barcelona can afford him. We've been kind of thinking it would be Saudi, right? And that would be where we'd get the most money as well. If it's only Barcelona, A, do you think Liverpool will let him go for like 20 mil less than what Saudi would pay? And B, do you think that Rodrigo to Arsenal is realistic? And would you want Liverpool to try and hijack that and do a swap deal for Diaz, so to speak?
I mean, here's the thing. If we sell Luis Diaz for 75-80 million and we sign Rodrigo for the same money, then we have upgraded for the same amount of money. Now, I've changed my opinion on Luis Diaz this season. I've actually been quite praising of him, and I've actually been defending Luis Diaz against Tom, who thinks everyone is an upgrade on Diaz. Not everyone is an upgrade on Diaz. I think it's not as easy as we think to upgrade on Diaz. Like he's a very good player at this moment in time, but Rodrigo is definitely an upgrade for me. I think he possesses all the qualities. I think he's just waiting for someone to play him left wing so he could explode, so he could just cook, so he can put the ball in the back of the net as many times as possible. Cut in and shoot is literally the most basic thing any winger does, and he can't do that at Real Madrid because they play him right wing. Now, in terms of... it's funny because I know you're talking about the Ornstein bomb from yesterday with the whole Diaz situation. I feel like Liverpool are doing this on purpose. They're essentially saying, you're either going to pay Saudi money or we're not going to sell to you, Barcelona. That's basically what they're saying. It's just, that's literally the underlying message you get me from Liverpool Football Club. Like, yo, Saudi are offering us this much money. You either pay up or you're not going to get Luis Diaz. End of. That's basically what they're saying. And the thing is, with the left wing position for Barcelona, the options are like Luis Diaz, or then they were linked to the likes of Marcus Rashford and stuff. Now, I don't know how much they're going to be trying to pay for Marcus Rashford, but I always say this, and people don't get it. The way that a sporting director will look at a player is not the way that a fan will look at a player. Because Deco, who's the sporting director at Barcelona, will look at Luis Diaz and go like, this guy is the captain of Colombia, essentially, the best player for his nation. The second best winger at Liverpool, Premier League champion, played Champions League football before, speaks Spanish, etc. Like so many positive things he'd mentioned. And for me, I look at Luis Diaz and I do think, listen, if you want to sell Luis Diaz, I have no problem with it per se. Like, I think we can survive without him. It's not like I think, we can shut the club down without Luis Diaz. Like, I still think we can survive without him. I think we can get better. I think we can upgrade. But at the end of the day, you can't just expect to sign like any Tom, Dick, and Harry and think that it gets better. It doesn't get better if you just sign anyone, bro. You get me? Like, you need better players. You need upgrades. And the Rodrigo thing is quite interesting because if we sell Diaz for like 75 to 80 million and then Rodrigo walks through the door, I doubt anyone will complain. I'll be honest with you. Because he's also a lot younger than Diaz. So his ceiling is a lot higher. Now, someone will come tell me Rodrigo only has 6 La Liga goals or 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever the hell he has. I'll be like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but he's playing on the right. Now imagine Luis Diaz playing on the right for a whole season. Imagine Salah playing on the left for a whole season. The best wingers in the world. Imagine you take away cut in and shoot, which is the most basic move a winger can make. And that's basically what's taken away from Rodrigo. So I hope we do that. Now, if he ends up at Arsenal, it will worry me. Because one thing Rodrigo is anti-terrorism. So whatever Arteta tactics is going to be, he's just going to say nope, and he's going to dribble past 4 players and put the ball in the back of the net top bins. So we can't risk having that. And actually, quick story time for the people in the chat as well. We wanted Rodrigo from the time he was in Brazil, but he rejected us to complete his studies. That's literally why he rejected us the first time. To study. You get me? So, yeah. I would love to have Rodrigo at Liverpool, man. I would absolutely love it. Specifically given the fact we're going to sign Florian Wirtz. So if you're telling me I've got Wirtz, Rodrigo, Salah, and we sign a striker, whoever up top, whether it's someone we like or not, bro, we're going to cook. We're going to cook.
Do you think there's any realistic chance that Liverpool will try and go for Rodrigo now that it's been made public that he is available?
80 million euros, why wouldn't you? If you think it's impossible, you tell me why you think it's impossible. 80 million euros, that's very doable. That's essentially...
I tell you why the reason why I don't think it's possible personally is because I don't think you can change that much about your team all in one go. Because we have to buy a striker, right? I think that is evident, especially if Nunez leaves. We have to buy a striker. So unless they're not going to buy a striker, I don't think we can go for Rodrigo because you can't pay 110 for Wirtz, 80 to 90 mil for Rodrigo, and then another 80 to 90 mil on what would be the only good replacement for a striker. Because, bro, then you're actually looking at 300 million almost, and that's just in your front line, plus the money we're already spending on Kerkez and Frimpong. I don't think that Liverpool are going to spend close to 300 million and it will only be in the forward.
Why
area.
not? Tell me.
I just don't think that Liverpool, A, would do that because it's never been done. And B, because I think if you change your entire front line, even if you're upgrading, you're taking a massive risk. Like in all honesty, like I know on paper and like we're playing FIFA or Football Manager, it would be amazing, right? You'd be like, oh shit, we got Kerkez, we got Rodrigo, and we got Wirtz. Oh shit! But in reality, I don't know if you can go and retain the title that quickly. Maybe that's the type of moves that mean that the following year, once they've all gelled and they know how to play together, it'll be an absolutely
I disagree with you completely.
Thing. But I think
the quality is way too good for them to need a year. The quality of player
but you might need at least half a season.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think anyone can catch us if we do what you're talking about. If you're telling me we're gonna play Rodrigo left wing, Joker is up top, Salah on the right, and Wirtz behind them, I think we would cook the shit out of teams, and I think we would essentially establish ourselves as favorite for the Premier League immediately next season. And here's the thing, you're talking about change the team way too much. Manchester City are looked at as a team that can win the league next season, and they've changed about 6 starters because they're going to get a new left back, a new right back, Diaz, Sherky. Marmoush is also new, and now he's going to be playing left wing. They're going to be looking at upgrading in other positions as well, like centre back. They were looking at getting a new goalkeeper, so that's 7 new positions. I mean, we grew up in an era where we saw Man United win a league and then go sign 3-4 players immediately and try to win the league again. You know, like had
all in the same. Because if you think about it, that would be Mo being the only player from last season, or that was even a Liverpool player last season, playing in the front line. You don't think that would be a massive risk for Kopish, even if it took till like November, December to get? We could be out of the race by then. We could be 8 points behind by. Do you get what I mean?
Can I tell you why I don't think that? I'll tell you why I don't think that. Man United had Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo, went signed Berbatov, went signed Luis Saha immediately. Same team, same front line. They went to sign those players, and they ended up winning a three-peat. There is an analogy.
They already had the 3 though, bro. That's the thing. So like we'd only have 1. Mo would be the only one that would have known how to play at Liverpool.
Yeah, I understand that point. I get that point. All I'm saying is when you're bringing someone of a high quality, it does not matter. Like there's an NBA analogy I'm going to use that has nothing to do with football. The Portland Trail Blazers infamously took a player before Michael Jordan in the NBA draft because they needed a center. There was someone who told them, draft Michael Jordan and play him at center. It doesn't matter. Just get the best you can. As things stand, we have the opportunity. Yes, there is changes, but if we want to use another example, we can look at Chelsea. Chelsea had a consistent spine of 4 players. Cech, Terry, Lampard, Drogba. Everything else changed every single year. Every single year they signed players. They tried it with Shevchenko, Crespo, Damien Duff, Arjen Robben. We could go through the list of players they have signed. You look at Liverpool Football Club right now, I would say our spine is Alisson, Virgil, McAllister, and Mo. That's our spine. Now, if we can upgrade on any other position, guess what? I'm going to put them on the pitch with Van Dijk's leadership, with McAllister's all-roundedness, well-rounded abilities, with Alisson's experience, with Salah's game-winning ability, and they're going to figure it out. Because I know if I put Gyökeres, Rodrigo, and Salah on the same front line together, they will find a way to figure it out and score a shitload of goals. And it would not worry me whatsoever. You're saying change, but sometimes change is positive. Sometimes change is needed because, in the words of Stevie G, you have to fix the roof when the sun is shining. That's what he said, and he's 100% correct. Why do we have to wait for shit to hit the fan to fix the roof? Guess what? The sun is shining. It's beautiful right now. We're never, ever going to get 85 million for Diaz ever again. We're never going to get 80 million for Nunez ever again. That's already 160 million right there. You sold Kelleher now for 20 million. That's 180 million. You could sell Ben Doak for 30. That's already 200 million. You could sell Tyler Morton, you know? There are links to Jota being sold. Chiesa, we don't know what's going on with him. So there are so many players. If we're going to sign Kerkez, one of Robertson or Tsimikas will go. That's another 10, 15 million. So if you do the quick math, eventually you're going to reach a level where you're like, Liverpool has actually only spent like 80, 90 million, 100 million here. Because there's going to be a whole lot of sales. Keep in mind, yesterday there's something that happened. Al Hilal were close to agreeing personal terms with Osimhen, but Osimhen wants too much money and they couldn't agree the personal terms. And now they're going in for Darwin Nunez. So now we're going to get Saudi money for Nunez. So that's another 80 million because they offered 80 in January. Never mind now, before a Club World Cup. Al Hilal is in the Club World Cup, by the way. So they will want to get that deal done ASAP. So they might end up paying 80, 85 million. So listen, it's about damn time we spent some money, man. We made like 80 million profit last year. You know, we've been calling out this ownership to spend more money for the last 4 years. Finally, it's happening. I ain't going to complain about the change because the best players figure it out. The best players find a way. Rodrigo will find a way.
I hear you.
Gyökeres will find a way. And that's why I'm confident.
I'm going to ask you in a different way then, Matt, because I think Hassam has given some very good answers there to the original question.
Yeah. Big up Hassam, big up the chat, and happy Eid to my Muslim brothers and sisters, man. Trust me. Come on.
Yes. Big up. So I'm going to ask you a slightly different question, bro. I'm going to ask you if the front line can gel, cool. Like all at once and still keep us in a title race. But it will be half the team changing. So Hassam's point about the spine is bang on. But even then, even with a spine like the one we have, if you include left back changing, right back changing, possibly a midfielder being added, and possibly a defender being added, depending on what, there could be a point where you have like 5 or 6 players in the first 11 that are not the same from last year. If we was to live in this fantasy world and this all happened.
Yeah.
Can you and should you, more importantly, make that many changes, even though you're supposed to strike while the iron's hot, build when you're winning? I think that is supposed to be cherry on top type stuff. Personally, I don't think that's half a team change, because then you go from being the champions to the unknown, and that is very risky, in my opinion. At the same time, so normally you'd win the league and then you just go buy Hitman. So you'd have the same team, one addition, Haaland, bang, you go win the treble. You get what I mean? That's what City did. They didn't do. They didn't really need, you know what I mean? They didn't really need to do too much. Bang, Haaland. All they needed, treble. We're in that position that City were in before they won the league with the treble, when they won I think it was just the league. I'm not, if I'm not mistaken, before they did the treble, it was just the league. I think they won.
I think so. Yeah.
So it'll be pretty much similar to what we're in now. We've just won the league, but we want to go and win the Champions League and the Premier League next season. We want to go and be that. And a lot of people thought it would just be swap Nunez, really. Do you know what I mean? Like going into maybe a DM. That was what people thinking. Get a DM, swap Nunez with a Kerkez or an Isak. Bang, we're ready to go. And now all of a sudden it's like this, it's that. Trent leaves, we need a right back. Yada, yada, yada. Buying a 10. We didn't even think we'd buy a 10. So do you think 5 or 6 changes to the first 11 is feasible? And should it be done, or is it hella risky? Even if the people are talented, because they could still take half a year to gel and then we're out the title race for next season. Do you get what I mean? So
I get what you mean, but here's where I agree with Hassam. So let's say you bring in 5 or 6 players, yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean all of them are going to start. So right now, I would say Frimpong might not even definitely be a starter, might be Bradley. But let's just go with the premise that it's Frimpong. You got Kerkez, we're getting Wirtz. Say we get Wirtz, hopefully comes in the door as well. Then you got a striker, that'll be 4. And let's just say Diaz does get sold, you bring in a replacement, that's 5. You still got Cody Gakpo, who's still going to be a regular. The midfield, as we know, as things stand, nothing has changed so far. So you still got the nucleus of that midfield. The defense theoretically is getting stronger, because obviously we're trying to upgrade now Robert and Tsimikas. Frimpong's just coming in to kind of compete with Bradley, but let's say Bradley starts. Bro, you always want to strengthen from a position of power. Remember when I said you want to get to the top of the mountain, but we want to stay there. We don't want to go back to the bottom of the mountain again and start again. And what could happen is that we get a little bit complacent because we won the league, or we only need a few tweaks. Man United, who finished in 17th, are already trying to bring in players, and they're not like, that's Man United.
Also,
Arsenal,
when you guys say unknown, is Rodrigo really unknown?
No, he's not unknown. For me, Rodrigo's not an unknown. You got other teams that are chasing us down. Man City, like Sam pointed out, yeah, they're going to make bare changes, but they're still, in my opinion, still going to be one of the teams to look out for. I even think if Man City get Shirky, which I think is going to be done soon, they've got 8 Nori. They're trying to get Livramento, and I think there's someone else, Reinders as well. Bro, I'm telling you from now, with those signings, I'm going to sit here and say City might have even leapfrogged Arsenal with those signings. Because Arsenal...
That is a lot of change, though.
No, it is.
A lot of change.
But when you've got a quality manager, remember, we went in with a new manager. So
we
even
got
though we've
Pep
got the
as
same
well.
players, yeah, we've got a new manager, new playing style. That it could have easily been like that. So now we've got the same manager, same manager, but we're just going to add some quality players. When you've got quality players, but I always think of it as they will work it out. They're good enough. We still got Salah. We still got Van Dijk. We still got, as far as things stand, we still got Ibu. We still got Alisson. Do you know what I mean? We still got Grav. We still got Mac. We still got Soboslai. We still got Gakpo. These are players that know how to win. So even if the other players I'm going to say Wirtz settles in straight away. So does Kerkez, so does Frimpong. Those are the 3 signings that I think will settle in straight away. If we get any others, which I'm hoping to, that'll be a bonus to add what we have, bro. I don't think we should be worried about fear of the unknown and fear about, too many new players might upset the apple cart, so to speak. Bro, the players, we've got a good nucleus. Like, there's a feel-good factor. We're champions. People want to join us. They're willing to learn. They're willing to go up a gear. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we always have a go at owners for not spending, yeah? And the minute our owners show a little bit of like, nah, do you know what? We might
like it's spending too much now.
Yeah, we're doing too much now. We've got to rein it in a bit. We don't want to do too. Trust me, because you know what it is.
Not doing too much, as in like bringing in the players or spending the money. That's beautiful. Just like for next season, is it too much change all at once?
I don't think so, bro. Because
Like,
here's the
if
thing:
you're decorating your house, you don't decorate 3 bedrooms at once. You decorate one, then you move on to the next. But you don't just have all 3.
Yeah, but you're not competing with other
covered
houses.
in plastic at the same time.
But that's what I mean. We're not in competition with.
You're not competing with other houses.
Yeah, so it's very different. Remember, we're competing against other teams that are striving to get to where we are, and they are close. Because let's keep it about. Even though we won the league and we smashed the league, I would say halfway through, we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit towards the end of the season. Now you got to understand
we could, innit?
Yeah, but them other teams, I think, will be stronger. We have to be stronger. You have to go into the mentality, that you have to do it all over again. You can't just think we're the champions. So, like, remember, we're going to have a target on our back now as well. Everyone wants to beat Liverpool. Not that they didn't already. Everyone will treat us like these are the champions. Bro, we're coming to move to the champions. So we got to be ready. And fresh blood, in my opinion, is a good thing, especially when you got a good coach. It's the coach that will make things work, innit? Make things happen.
All right. So going on that premise, then. By the way, when you do the whole like devil's advocate stuff, it's exhausting. I don't know how Cal does this every week.
No, but just say another perspective. You know, devil's advocate is long, innit? Just say, if it's me, I'm just saying here's another perspective, innit? Like that.
Same thing. Yeah, I'm asking questions that keep the conversation flowing, even if I don't believe in it myself.
But some people might believe what you're going to say, though.
So, do we believe then, based on everything that you guys just positively said about spending, think Liverpool will make this many changes? Will Liverpool be brave enough and go and get Rodrigo and Kerkez, or Alvarez and Rodrigo? Will Liverpool put that money where their mouth is? I know we're doing it with Florian, but will we continue to do it after that, or will Florian be the last big signing? And this is, I just want to get where you look in terms of like,
think,
or would Rodrigo mean no forward?
No.
So
see, I think we only get,
and then you don't buy a striker.
Okay, so I think we only get Rodrigo if Diaz leaves. See, I think Rodrigo becomes Diaz's replacement. That's what I think. But the striker has got nothing to do with what's happening.
What if Diaz replaces Nunez? And then you bring in Rodrigo. So Diaz becomes the false 9 permanently, and then Rodrigo becomes the left winger.
Do you know why I don't see that happening? It was so kind of obvious that the Liverpool's line when it was like, okay, so Barcelona approached Diaz. Obviously, Diaz is giving them the go-ahead to like speak to Liverpool, right? Liverpool practically said he's not for sale. No. What it means is he's not for sale at the price that you're willing to pay.
Yep.
They've also come out with the line, because if they didn't come out with this line next, I would have agreed with them. Liverpool aren't looking to extend this contract, and if anything, they will not give him a free contract. So they, if anything, they will just potentially see out his contract. We're not stupid. We can read between the lines. What you're basically saying is he is available for a price that we're willing to accept, but the price that you are offering is nowhere near good enough. So Barcelona, if you want Diaz, you better cough up about 70, 80 million euros if you want him. That's what you got to do. Because remember, if we say to everybody now, Diaz is for sale, everybody will lowball us, especially Barca. That's why Liverpool, Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes know what they're doing. They're basically saying, yes, he's available. We're not going to give him a new deal, but don't think we're selling him for cheap. We're not doing that no more. Yeah, that's what it is.
No, I get that. But then what if Rodrigo was seen as another superstar, and it was like, for Liverpool, it was like, that's enough superstars. Now we'll sprinkle it with just talent. So Rodrigo and Wirtz would be your superstars, which, if we're being honest, would be a sensational summer. I know everybody 100%. Wants the striker, but Rodrigo and Wirtz added to our front line is a sensational summer. It really is. And say
No,
that
I
was
agree.
predicated on Diaz not leaving. So they didn't care about whether Diaz left or not. They just wanted
You're
Rodrigo.
saying Diaz plays false nine.
Yeah, so they're like, because Diaz is such a versatile player, he can play across the front, he can play anywhere in the front four. Because I even think Diaz could play 10 if you needed him to. So he can play anywhere in that front four. So they see him as a good squad player, so they keep him. He's on a low wage as well, which means they ain't got to worry about outlay. So they're like, no, let's keep Diaz. There's no need to get rid of him. But what we will do then is we will replace the left wing on a permanent basis. So Rodrigo will be the permanent left winger. And Diaz can just fill in where and when. We'll go with Jota as the striker. And then if he's not available, we'll play Diaz. That's the risk we're willing to take to bring in Rodrigo and Wirtz to massively improve the front line.
Yeah, but Rodrigo and Wirtz would be a great summer even without a striker, because then you could just rotate Diaz and Jota up top. And then you'd have
that's what I'm saying. And then imagine if they think to themselves, and then on that premise, Alvarez and Isak will be.
By the way, you could even play Rodrigo up top in that, like in that.
100%, you could.
You could go. You could even go like Mo on the right, Gakpo on the left, and Rodrigo up top.
But this is. But for me,
then, guys, remember, Alvarez and Isak will be a lot more available next summer. So what if the club think, we do Rodrigo this year, we can go with Jota and Diaz one more time, having that quality behind them and around them, Wirtz, Rodrigo, and Salah. Then we get Isak or Alvarez for a much cheaper price or a much easier bargain next summer. Would you lot take that?
I would take it, because here's the thing. We only want a bona fide striker, and there's only two that I think the club will go for, from what we've read, right? And that's Isak or Alvarez. Yeah. I know there's been talks of Ekatike, Kerkez, even Osimhen, who's priced himself out of a move. I think Liverpool are scouring and thinking, what is the best deal for us? So they might go in that direction, and they might get Rodrigo to replace Diaz, but then use Rodrigo through the centre, potentially at times alongside maybe Diaz as well, or even Jota. Because here's the thing. This only works if Jota can even stay even half available. The problem is that if Jota picks up big injuries again this season, we are in a little bit of trouble, because we haven't got a recognized striker. We've got makeshift strikers, like, we would have Diaz as a makeshift, and you got Rodrigo as a makeshift. But we won't have a recognized striker. Now, could we do it? Probably. Yes, we could. But it is a little bit of a gamble. And it does make me wonder whether the club are willing to take that gamble on Jota. Because I think the way how Arne Slot speaks about Jota, he does rate him a lot. He was speaking about it, like, even earlier in the season, he was like, I wish he was available. The problem is,
he was like, I wish he was fit for all the time.
But it's just his availability.
Everybody's sleeping on Jota because he had a bad season. Jota's a brilliant player. That's why.
No.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'll say this to be objective as well about Jota. I think Jota has missed quite a few chances as well this year. Like, even in the game, I don't know if you watched the Portugal-Germany game. I put on the last bit of it, like the last 10, 15 minutes. Even then, Jota missed for Portugal, you know? So, listen, I'll tell you why I won't take it. I won't take it because I still think Liverpool Football Club need to get someone fresh up top. Here's the thing. I understand if your target is Alvarez next summer. My thing would be just get a stopgap for a year. I'm talking about, even if you want to sign Jean-Philippe Mateta for like 15 million, go for it. Just sign a stopgap for a year.
No, Mateta would be at least 50 mil, bro. There's no way you'd get Mateta.
Palace after what they've done. And they're in Europe now as well, remember that. But I know what you mean.
I'm just giving an example. Get anyone. Just get a stopgap. Like, we can't.
What about Ollie Watkins? Would you take Watkins for a year as a stopgap?
Yeah, but then Watkins also is 40 million.
But then he becomes the backup when we buy Alvarez.
But guys, do you know what worries me a little bit?
I hate Ollie Watkins. You'll never catch me.
Yeah, fact. Hassan, we spoke about this, I think, on your channel on Tuesday. Yeah, there's not even a guarantee that the striker market is going to improve next year. So that's why I feel like we kind of have to. You see what we've done with Florian Wirtz? Yeah, no one expected that at all. Start of summer. Or once season finished, no one in their right mind would have said, I know Liverpool are going to try and do the mad thing and try and get Florian Wirtz. First of all, we didn't even know if he was available. Second of all, if he was available, he was definitely going to buy it. For Liverpool to go and just move Bayern out the way and be like, that's our player, we would have to be very aggressive to get Isak or Alvarez. And I think you kind of have to do it now.
Yes.
I know Newcastle were in the Champions League. I fully get that, and they are a big club. I'm not disrespecting Newcastle, but if Isak has ambitions, in my opinion, of trying to win the league next year, if you're a betting man, you probably put Liverpool ahead of Newcastle. Not saying Newcastle can't do nothing, because I think Newcastle is going to be a problem. But this is where you speak to Isak and you say to him, listen.
No, they will not, Matt. Allow it. No, they will not.
No. But what I'm saying is,
Newcastle will not be a problem with 2 games a week. They can't handle that shit.
No, I know. But do you think Liverpool could walk up to Newcastle and be like, here's 130?
Yes.
You think? Because I think we could do that, you know.
Yeah, we could do it because of this, the money that's coming in from sales, and because of the fact that we didn't spend any money last summer.
Exactly.
The NBA analogy that I gave you about playing Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
We signed Florian Wirtz. No one, and I mean no one, would have had number 10 as even a top 4 position for us to sign. Everyone said striker, right back, left back, center back. Yeah, and then you started to get to the number 10. But when an opportunity like this becomes available of signing Florian Wirtz, you have to change your plans. Now, us changing our plans does not necessitate that we can not buy a striker. I don't think those things are interlinked. We still need to get a striker. We still need to get someone that's why, even if we sign someone like a Delap for 30 M's, I wouldn't have complained with Florian Wirtz. We just need someone to get the pressure off of Mo.
Yes, I agree with that. Because you got to understand something. Time, as we know, this is for everybody in the chat as well. As we know, time goes by so fast, and I'm telling you, we're gonna blink, and 2 years will go by, and everyone will be bawling their eyes out because Mohamed Salah will be leaving Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? But before that happens, we need to make sure we maximize Salah right now. He's got 2 years. Let's give him the best opportunity, and our club the best opportunity to win things while we still got these great players, including Van Dijk as well, that's at this club and still playing at a high level. Liverpool trying to get Florian Wirtz. Another reason is this: they need another superstar, another poster boy. Because let's say we didn't get Wirtz, and let's say 2 years later Salah leaves. Who's the main guy? Do you see what I'm saying, Hassan? We need that main guy.
That's why you can never have enough marquee signings.
Exactly.
If you sign Rodrigo and Alvarez, even if Salah leaves 2 seasons from now, or even if he has a drop-off, you're still in a position where you can win regardless.
Yes, exactly.
That's the thing. Now, is Rodrigo and Alvarez both in the same summer probably realistic? Probably not. But that's why in comes the Swedish Haaland, a.k.a. Mr. Kerkez, you get me? £58 million. On paper, it makes sense even financially.
I've said this, yeah. I know he's not everyone's sort of choice for striker, but the guy knows how to score goals. If there's one thing that I know, people will talk about the caliber of goals from the league, and I understand it. People will start doing the whole, but remember, this ain't Nunez. They're 2 different players. They don't even play the same, in my opinion. He's good enough, in my opinion. He's good enough to play in the Premier League. And you know what I'm worried about? Someone else will get him. We don't get a striker, and then we sit there and go, why didn't we get him? Because that's what we do a lot of times, you know. We do that too many times. We always do the whole, I don't know if he's ready yet. Then the guy bads it up somewhere else. Now everybody wants the player. Always happens.
Caicedo's prime example. We sent our scouts to Independiente del Valle, and we wanted Caicedo. We were offered Caicedo for 2 million. 2 million.
I know. Bruv.
We said no. And then 2 years later, we offered 115 million for the same player.
Listen, big up the godfather, Jurgen Klopp. We could have signed Bruno Ramirez, apparently, when he was there, when Edwards was still there. Klopp said, nah, I'm good. Yeah, Klopp said, nah, I'm good. I've got Henderson and them, man. So I'm not saying Ramirez, even back then, was as good as them guys there, but look at Ramirez now. Sometimes you have to take that chance, especially if the fee is not nothing crazy. Look at you see Real Madrid. Do you know how much they paid for Rodrigo and Vinicius? Bro, they paid like 30 mil, I believe, for Rodrigo. And I think they paid around the same for Vinicius. But they were both like 18 years of age. They took a chance. I look at them now. Look how much they cost. Look what they've won.
16 years old, he's built like a tank.
Yeah, facts. And the thing is, they're smart.
He's 16. I don't know, but this guy pushed Konate off the ball. I'm like, yo, he's 16 years old. Like he just pushed the grown man off the ball.
You have to take these chances, man. And big up for the people that knew about Baleba before he moved to Brighton. A lot of people were saying we should have got Baleba before he went to Brighton. Again, another one. Sometimes you have to do these type of deals, bro. You have to.
All right. So let me ask you this then, because I think 58 million or 60 million is what the asking price is for Gyökeres or
Gyökeres, 58 million pounds.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, which is a conversation no one has ever had, and I'm gonna start the conversation now based on how FSG's model is. Gyökeres is going to be 28 in a week's time. Is that the reason why nobody's going ham on him?
28.
No, I have another opinion why no one's going ham.
Slow down.
Yeah.
I think everyone expected Gyökeres to be Arsenal's first signing of the window.
That's true.
That's why no one attempted. That's how I look at it. I think the reason why no one attempted is everyone was expecting Arsenal to go like Gyökeres directly first week of the window and sign him. That's the thing. Now, the Sesko thing has moved the domino in a different direction. If Arsenal wants Sesko, and based off what the Athletics say, that's why Havertz is going to play minutes next season, that's their two strikers right there, Havertz and Sesko. I'm going based on the news. I can't, I'm not an Arsenal insider or something. So if those two are their strikers, Chelsea and Liverpool were probably targeting Ekitike for the longest because they were told that Gyökeres is headed to Arsenal.
Yeah.
So our primary target was Ekitike. Our second target could be Victor Gyökeres. And now on top of all this, Osimhen move to Saudi might fall off. That's another door that's open.
Bro, how do you price yourself out of a move from Saudi? Do you know how insane that sounds? They pay, bro, they all pay you whatever. He's managed to price himself out of a move, That's crazy.
There we go.
25 million a year. He was
also, when you say Gyökeres is 27, like
he's just turned 27.
Yeah. So 27. I mean,
same birthday as my daughter. Funny enough, 2 days ago.
I mean, obviously, a year is a bit of a difference, but the premise still remains. Do you think that age is why maybe he isn't? Because all the other people that everybody's enjoying being linked with are 21 and 22-year-olds who've got a massive future ahead of them. Whereas Gyökeres is in his prime right now.
Even if he's 27, that's 5 years easy right there.
I was going to say a 5-year
deal.
No,
I'm just asking, do you think that could be one of the... Because everybody is a little confused, right, why Gyökeres is the least sought after at the moment. If you believe what we're being told by the rumours, everybody else is actually being more sought after than Gyökeres. He's almost like the one who everyone's like, we'll see about that. But everyone's like FTK, Sesko... Everyone, you know what I mean? Everyone's looking at those because they're all like 20, 21, 22. They're like all of these players who have incredible futures ahead of them if you're going on the talent based on a guy who's already at his peak and won't get any better. Do you think that might be the reason why people are thinking the way they're thinking about the situation?
Funny you say that. How old was Drogba when he signed for Chelsea? I'm almost certain he was the same age. I'm almost certain.
I don't know if he was.
No, he was a lot younger, bro.
Nah.
I think he was maybe like 24.
Nah, Drogba was about 27. Chat, please go double check that, please. I'm almost certain Drogba was 27 or 26. I'm almost certain when they signed him.
Didier Drogba signed for Chelsea July 2004, completing a transfer from Marseille for 24 million. This made him... No, look. Oh, no, you were right. Drogba was 26.
This is what I'm saying. And look how that turned out.
2004, yeah. He was 26.
So look how that turned out. See, okay, I was a year off. But what I'm saying is that I get it. Our premise is to kind of go for someone that's around 23, 24, I'm guessing. But what I'm saying is you do get anomalies like a Drogba where, bruv, the man was cooking from 26 to like 32, 33. Gyökeres is kind of like, obviously he's kind of built, it seems like he's very robust. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be Drogba, but what I'm saying, the club shouldn't be like turning a blind eye to that just by looking at that age. 27 isn't even old. You're in your prime.
The world seems to be a different place now, though, isn't it, Matt? Everybody loves the metrics and the young players and potential.
I know, because everyone likes to do. He's got the potential, and he's gonna. What I'm saying is, what you're seeing
resale value and all that stuff.
You know, so crazy. If Gyökeres was playing in Germany, or Spain is because he's playing in Portugal. I'm telling you, because if you go and look at all the talents around the world, a lot of them are not being really bought from Portugal. A lot of them are being bought from, especially Germany. Obviously, we're trying to get Florian Wirtz. Even France, to be fair. Obviously, I know City trying to get Shirky. You've got Randers from the Italian league. Like, I can't remember the last time a big player came from the Portuguese league. It would have been City. Ruben Diaz, maybe?
Maybe.
There must have been somebody since then.
Maybe him
Ruben
or Bruno
Diaz.
Fernandes, one of those two.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. So it's been a while. Like, it's been a little while.
No, Enzo was at Benfica, right?
That's true.
Yeah, but Enzo took time. Enzo's only like come out the shell this year.
But I wouldn't say he was like his reputation, but I still feel.
Yeah, Enzo was definitely seen as a superstar in the Portuguese league. That's why they had to pay 105 mil for
it. No. But what I'm saying is, it's one of the leagues where it's every now and again. It's not consistent. The Portuguese league isn't seen as consistent. You don't get a lot of players from the Portuguese league consistently.
With all due respect, the Portuguese league is way down the pecking order in terms of like.
No, it is.
I would even say it's probably below the Dutch league.
But no, it's not below the Dutch league. But what I'm gonna say is, but it's ballers though. All right, Vitinha, João Neves, like I said, Ruben Diaz, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes.
I wanted Vitinha, man. I wanted Vitinha,
bro.
man.
There's ballers in what it is.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about overall quality of the league. It's definitely way down the pecking order.
Yeah, but I'd say it's still better than the Dutch league, though.
I don't know. Is it?
All right, other than Ajax and Benfica, and obviously the only reason final will go because Slot was there. If I'm being real, you go to Portugal now. You still got your Sporting, you still got Porto, you still got Benfica, you still got the three big teams in it. In my opinion,
no, but I mean overall quality. Would the Portuguese? Let's have a look. Actually, let's look at league rankings and see which league is actually ranked.
No, the Dutch league ranks higher. But that's also, listen, Drifty is cooking to an extent because, like, let's be serious. We're looking at, like, Academica, Boa Vista, and these other clubs.
I know, bro, but then I could do AZ Alkmaar and flipping, like, some of the Dutch teams.
The Go-Ahead Eagles won the Dutch Cup. What phase is their manager in?
All right, the best way for me, actually, no, because I'm trying to think who's the best player out of both them leagues. Hold on. Wait. All right. The best player to come out of the Portuguese league, yeah, in recent years.
What's the name of the Go-Ahead Eagles manager? I want to see.
Is Vitinha, innit? He's probably the best one. No, but AZ Alkmaar were only good again because of slot rude, but man said Go-Ahead Eagles, you know.
They won the cup in 2025. Go-Ahead Eagles.
That's crazy.
Let's go.
I know. Do you know what? You're actually right, Matt. It is ranked above the Euro Division.
See, Sam, who's cooking now, bro? I told you, bro.
No, but here's the mad thing, though, Matt. Even if it's not, it's actually ranked lower than the Brazilian league.
What phase is Paul Simonis in?
The Portuguese league is ranked lower than the Brazilian league.
Oh no!
I swear to God, they won the cup, bro.
Bro, you see the Brazilian league, yeah?
You want the official ranking? It's Premier League, then Serie A, then Bundesliga, then La Liga, then Liga, then Serie A in Brazil, then Portuguese league. So the Portuguese league is ranked 7th.
So, and where's the Dutch league?
Dutch league.
You guys remember that moment in time, like 3 years ago, when we wanted Gabigol from Flamengo? Remember him?
The Belgium league and the Argentinian league and the MLS are actually ranked above Eurodivision, which I think is a bit too far.
MLS? No way.
Ranked above what?
Nah,
apparently, officially, MLS is ranked above the Euro.
Them man are rating Busquets still.
That sounds a bit iffy to me. But to put MLS above Euro Division, that sounds a bit weird to me. But
ranked above the what? MLS is
Eredivisie. Yes, MLS is ranked higher than the Eredivisie, the Dutch league.
Eurodivision, yeah.
Man said they still think it's Barca in MLS with Suarez and them boys.
Hey. Messi did a lot of heavy lifting in that league right there.
Oh my days.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
No, that's mad. But listen, I don't even agree with any of them ratings, really. All I know is that, my whole point is just because Gyökeres plays in a Portuguese league, it doesn't mean to say that he can't get goals in other leagues.
Oh, actually, do you know what? Someone in the chat was right. On the UEFA.com actual website, they themselves have actually ranked Holland above Portugal.
I have that. Fair play then.
Yeah.
Guess I was cooking water then. Fair play.
Man
was
You
cooking.
just gave
Italy-
yourself like an extra W. there.
Italy is still above Spain though. In the
Do you know what?
Self-made W.
I'm gonna be so real. Italy and Spain is a bit iffy, you know, because after what I saw from their best team, I can't agree with that.
There you
I
are.
really can't, bro. I've
what
never
you mean
seen
the
it.
way Inter Milan got moved up in
Bruv.
the final?
PSG made it look like training.
Well, I mean, I think UEFA is the
Like
better
training?
competition to go with, and they've got it. England 1, Italy 2, Spain 3, Germany 4, France 5, Holland 6, Portugal 7th. So the Dutch league is ranked higher than the Portuguese league.
Fair play.
So I mean, could that be what it is as well? Then the 7th ranked league, and he's 27. Is everyone thinking he's at
How
his
come
peak
you're there
already,
when you're
no
27 and
resale
you haven't
value?
moved?
You know what I mean? Like, and you're doing it in a league that is way easier.
I'm
That maybe why? Because why isn't anybody actually?
Where are
going
you
to
finding
talk
these rankings? I'm trying to find them.
It's on the UEFA official website, bro.
But I'm gonna be so real, yeah, Drift. Yeah,
The
Gyökeres
Premier
is
League
gonna
is ranked first. That one.
Yeah, UEFA.com, bro. The official.
Gyökeres
UEFA.
is gonna leave and he's gonna bag goals, and everyone's gonna be like, "Why didn't we get him?" He will get goals. What it is, he's a bit scatty, but he will get goals. Remember, here's the thing. You see, all jokes aside, you see with Darwin Nunez.
19. No, apparently it's 20 of his goals were
please,
penalties.
Matt, please, no, please.
No. I'm just gonna say something quickly.
Please, I'm begging you. It's
No. What I'm gonna say, everybody will agree. When we signed him, no one cared how he scored. You know, remember, as fans, we don't care how you score, but I don't care if it came off your shin. What I'm saying is, we just wanted you to score. So what I'm saying is, if you're just a goal scorer, Southampton doesn't crash out. Let me use Pippo Inzaghi. Pippo Inzaghi used to get some of the scrappiest goals you will ever see in your entire life, but no one cared. Do you want to know why? Because he just scored an abundance of goals.
Filippo Inzaghi is shit, Matt.
No, but he was a
he was
still a
an
goal
elite
scorer.
goal scorer, though.
Guys,
He was a
Filippo
good
Inzaghi
footballer.
needed like 4 chances to score 1.
No, but he was still a good goal scorer, Hassam. In his time.
I would take Prime Jota ahead of Prime Inzaghi. I will call Footy Judge Mo right now, who watched the Italian league for the whole life, and he will tell you. Filippo Inzaghi is one of the most overrated players of all time. He's fucking shit.
I'm not. No. Yes, he was.
Bro, did you see the players this guy played with? Shevchenko, Kaká, Roy Costa, Seydor, some of the best of the best, and he needed like 4 chances to score 1.
But what I'm saying is, he used. If I swear, Pippo Inzaghi got goals. Let me see his goal.
The man who was born offside. Yeah, he scored.
I know the man that was born
played
offside.
behind Roy Costa and Kaká, mate. You would score goals.
Bro, I was there. I remember David.
Yeah, you would score goals. You think you're better than Madueke. So would Madueke score goals ahead of behind that? Yes, he would. Madueke would score goals ahead of that front four. Allow it, man. Allow them.
Apparently, Madueke is up for sale, you know.
You can sit up here and act like Pippo Inzaghi is a good player. He ain't a good player, man. He was born offside.
No, not a good player, but he was a good goal scorer, bro.
Guys,
he was a very good goal scorer.
That's his career highlight.
I don't know about that. I don't even know.
I'm trying.
Okay, can I name you 10 strikers in the history of
Wait,
Serie A
Hassan, can I just quickly say something
now?
quickly? He scored 73 goals in 202 appearances for AC Milan. He scored 57 goals in 120 for Juve. He scored 24 goals in 33 for Atalanta. Bro, these stats are insane.
Okay, read the AC Milan stats again quickly.
All right, I could have got to AC Milan. So for AC Milan, he's in. This is just in the league. He scored 73 in 202, and overall, he got 126 in 300. He's just a poacher, brother. He was never a good.
You might just read out his career. His career stats.
Who was he playing with AC Milan? Tell the world, please.
In 620 games, he got
smile. You know I'm cooking. That's why
he was a goal scorer, bro.
Smile, baby. Smile. No. I will smile, but what I'm saying is,
Even old school Milan had Ronaldinho and David Beckham creating for Pippo Inzaghi. Allow it, man, please.
No. But what I'm saying,
No, Hassam, he's got 288 career
That's
goals.
what I'm
That
saying,
isn't
bro.
that
He's
ain't
a
a bummy
batsman.
striker, bro. That ain't a
Salah
bummy
has
striker.
more goals in the Prem.
Yeah, but that ain't a bummy striker though. To basically get 300 career goals.
No, but
You
Assad,
can't
they
be a
paid
bummy
4 for.
striker and
Remember,
get-
they paid 4 for 2 diamonds, so some of his goals will go to Shevchenko.
Oh my God, you're so shameless.
What? No, but
he played in the era where
takes
there were
away
two
from your-
strikers.
Smiling, you know you have.
No, but it's Drift. Tell me I'm lying. Andy Cole
No,
and Dwight
he
York.
played in the era where he played with
Andy
two
Cole was
strikers, so it wasn't always one man getting the goals.
Come on. Shevchenko done a lot of creating, and some people was arguing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Pippo Inzaghi, you know.
We could do with an Inzaghi right now.
If Tom, big up Tom, if he was, unfortunately, he was unable to make it, he would have said Retegui. I know a lot of people have been speaking about this Retegui guy, you know, from Atalanta. I haven't seen much of him.
Seaman when Inzaghi was playing, so he
He's
wouldn't.
going somewhere else apparently.
He wouldn't be able to relate that one.
Tom won about them days there.
Tom's version of Inzaghi is Gabbiadini.
Gabbiadini, you know.
Tom grew up watching Gabbiadini, Giaccherini. Remember Graziano Pelle? Remember?
Hey, Graziano Pelle, you know, flipping now.
Baller.
My day.
You guys
Remember
seen that German tank that played up top for Germany? 6'6" fucking demon. This guy right here.
Oh my days, Jan Koller.
He is a waste man. He is an actual waste man.
What, Jan Koller?
No, this Woe made.
What is he, the new Jan Koller?
Bro, he is bruv.
What is he? Just 6'6"
He's just a wardrobe.
I don't disrespect the wardrobe. That's Papa Diop from Fulham. Remember, they used to call him the wardrobe.
Yeah, it's all right when it's in midfield, but when you're striker's a wardrobe.
I used to question though whether they meant something else. I'm not gonna lie about why are you calling him the wardrobe though. Like, but yeah, we move. I don't know.
Yeah, me personally, I do. Like I said, I'm playing the devil's advocate, and I'm just trying to find the reason. Welcome, bro.
Hi, Callum.
What's going on, guys?
Cal, let me ask you. Let me ask you.
Just quickly, I just called Mo, right? He responds,
Yeah.
Do I need to answer? I'm live. Is it urgent? I said, nope, only live in Kop-Ish. Asking you about Filippo Inzaghi. They're doing Filippo Inzaghi prop as a striker. He said, haha, he's shit. Directly.
I don't think anyone who gets 288 goals can be called a bummy striker. Like that's a
he's
good
not a good player, but he was a good decent finisher. He used to get goals, bro.
Yeah,
he's not a good player though.
Incredible.
If
Yeah.
Drifty in his prime played for AC Milan, ahead of Kaká, Shevchenko, Crespo, Seydorf, how many goals would you score for that AC Milan team? If all you had to do was stay outside and score.
He still did it though, bro.
Come on.
So, Cal, quick question before we move on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make some sense of why Kerkez isn't as sought after as what he should be, right?
Mm.
Do you think it's got something to do with costing 60 mil and being 27? And everybody seems to be wanting to get the young 21 Ekitike, 20-year-old. So everyone seems to be more like sell on value for money in the market, younger player, higher ceiling, room to grow. Do you think people are looking at Kerkez like you are what you are, and therefore you won't get any better? So we'd rather go with the younger, because I can't think of what other reason why Kerkez is the least most sought after forward this summer out of all the players.
I don't think he's the least sought after. I just think I think it comes down to two things. I think there's interest in him. I think he may be holding out to see how many other teams come to the table though. Because say for example, it's Man United that's interested in him. He's probably looking at it thinking, oh, maybe I can sit and wait to see what Arsenal and Liverpool are doing because they need strikers as well, rather than just saying I'm going to jump at the first opportunity. And that could be one thing. I don't think the price and the age is a big thing because nowadays players are playing for longer as well. They keep themselves better shape. They're healthier. They train better. And with all sports science, I don't think buying a 20. He's literally just turned 27 as well. Buying a 27-year-old, I don't think it's crazy for 60 mil. Like we've seen players.
But we know what these people are like with the numbers, though, right? That they love to do the whole potential sell on value and all that.
We spent was it 75 mil on Virgil, and he was either 26 or 27 when we got him.
Yeah, but he was like a supreme, like, because I think FSG maybe would do it for a supreme talent. Like if Isak was 27, Do you get what I mean? Like Virgil was seen as that guy. I don't think Kerkez is in that bracket, so maybe that might be why they're a bit like he's not that exceptional talent to go and pay money.
That was also 8 years.
How old is Isak now?
25.
Oh, is he? Okay.
But remember, Virgil was 75 mil 8 years ago. 60 mil 8 years ago ain't what 60 mil is today. 60 mil.
No, but Virgil was also exceptional talent, though. Do you get what I mean? Like,
no, I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying 60 mil now isn't the same as 60 mil back then. Like 75 mil back in 17-18 is the equivalent of like 100 and so mil now, I'd say.
Yeah, inflation is a real thing.
Yeah. So, like, I don't think
Callum knows because he pays more for apple juice now.
He's not even lying. I'm not gonna lie. It's hitting me
orange
hard.
juice is £2 now. It's actually like, you know what I mean? Like I used to go Lidl to get cheap orange juice. It ain't even the case anymore.
It's £2. You're right, and the apple juice as well.
Now. Like,
even in Sainsbury's, it's all £2 now.
Not the one I get, 175.
Where'd you get yours from?
Lidl. Press.
That's because your apple juice is concentrated, bro. When
no. I told you I'm pressed now. Pause. Like, I'm bougie.
Oh, what you get the non-concentrate now?
Bro, we won the league. I'm bougie now. I told you I'm living a rich life.
I was gonna say, you know, it's about time you stop getting the concentrate.
Yeah. I'm done with that, bro. That was 2024. Like,
I have to go check that. You know, so Lidl's got it for how much?
It's strictly bottled apple juice now.
175. Okay.
Unless I'm feeling down on myself.
That, Matt. You already have anime to deal with. So allow it. Don't need another bad habit now.
Rob, I'm sorry. Your reality TV shows will be starting, I'm sure, next month.
You know?
Rob, this guy's talking to you about anime and his reality TV shows. Allow me, bro.
Mr. I don't watch. How do you know the date of it starting? Even I don't know the date of it starting.
Rob, are you going to be the next Love Island?
I stopped watching. I know I'm too old now. I don't need to recouple. I can just marry multiple wives. Let's go.
All right, Hassam on Love Island would be hilarious.
Hassam on Love Island, I'm tuning in.
Would be the best TV ever. Even I would tune in for that. I'd be like, forget anime, bro.
I'd be very toxic still on that.
Can you just imagine?
You know when they
imagine a toxic
you know when they do the trailer every week would be Hassam in the trailer.
Yeah, every day would be me.
Every day. Habibi,
any new bombshell walking in, I'll be on her directly.
Why aren't you screaming at me, cutting me? Habibi, please show me you love me.
Habibi, you don't love me. If you don't want to kill me, you don't love me.
Here we go with the exaggeration, guys.
Matt, you should
be. Habibi, where's your knife? Habibi, where's your knife?
You guys do this every episode. By the way, last time agreed with me. Listen, I don't want a robot, okay? I want a woman who's emotional. I like heavy metal relationship. I don't like boring shit. I want to walk next to my girl. And
I'm not surprised.
Passes by, and I want to look at her, and I want her to say, "If you look at her ever again, I'm gonna punch you in the face." Like, I love that shit, bro. That's beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. You guys want I want a woman that wears her heart on her sleeve, bro.
No, but Sam, it's not even like we fully disagree. It's when you use the phrase
nothing, Habibi. You just say nothing, Habibi. I'm looking up and down. You don't say nothing, Habibi. You don't love me. You're a fraud. You don't love me.
I can't lie to you. If I looked at another woman in front of her and she doesn't get annoyed, I will be annoyed that she's not annoyed.
We know, Hassan. We know, bro.
Yeah, she has to be annoyed, or then she doesn't love me. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Oh man.
Also, stop doing the Arab accent. You sound Russian. I told you 100 times. I'm not Makarov from Modern Warfare. You get me? I'm not Makarov.
Call of Duty settings. Oh,
hey, that's a compliment. I'll take that if that's
look at him out of stab wounds.
Look how angry he became in the world as well. I got a really hot take though, guys. If Luis Diaz doesn't go this summer, I don't think we sign a striker this summer.
Oh, you just switched back to football.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We were speaking about that topic about 20 minutes.
You said a hot take. I thought you had a hot take on Michael B. Jordan. I was like, okay. What's your hot take? I was like, okay, what's going on here? Let's go.
If Diaz stays, I don't think we sign a striker this summer, but I do think we go for a left winger, and that better be Rodrigo.
Well, you know what? Let me get through some of these supers then before we move on, because as the voice of reason says, we should propose a swap deal, Diaz for Rodrigo.
No.
100.
I don't think Madrid need Diaz.
They won't take him. But
Madrid don't need another left
He
winger.
don't want to go there. He wants Barcelona.
That's true.
Big up Gaz every time. Says shout out to the lads. Hassam, Jordan win the World Cup or Liverpool unbeaten quad?
Unbeaten quad.
Which one would you take?
Raw.
Jordan winning the World Cup.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have guessed you would have said Jordan.
Because there's a possibility of Liverpool doing an unbeaten
I was
quad
gonna
in
say,
their lifetime. But Jordan winning World Cup is impossible. We just qualified for our first one yesterday. That's why I have the flags and everything. I have this big ass flag. You get me? Right here. Yesterday, this is how crazy Arabs are when we're driving. Yeah, watch this. I was driving with this flag, very big flag, out the window with my hand on the steering wheel like this, and I was just waving the flag out as I was driving while playing music. You get me? Arab drivers are crazy, you know. Be very afraid. But we did make
that's mad still.
No, big up to making the first World Cup, man. That is a major achievement. So big
Trust
up for
me.
that, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The rivals are trying to make us feel bad about getting the best number 10. Yeah, let them cry, man. Let them.
You missed that last bit, in the world.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do think he's the best number 10 in the world, for real talk. Big up Terry, who says your theory of unknown would be relevant if we lost our best player, i.e. Salah, VVD. However, we haven't. We kept our best players. We are just adding quality. Remember, guys, I was just playing devil's advocate. Cal, I don't know how you play devil's advocate all the time, bro. It's exhausting,
bro. You have to embrace it, or else it becomes
bro.
I told him you're a Christian man. Stop doing this. He doesn't listen.
1 sec, guys.
Reed says Rodrigo or Leao, and would you sell Diaz or Gakpo with one at to go? I would probably, you're not going to be shocked at this, I would rather Gakpo left than Diaz if I was being completely honest with you.
Would you?
I think Diaz is more important to Liverpool, yeah. And you know I love Gakpo, but I think Diaz is more important. And I would pick Rodrigo over Leao based on the worry of Leao's inconsistency. But I think Leao's actually a better talent.
I'd go Rodrigo or Diaz just based on the fact that Gakpo still has room to improve, I feel like.
Yeah, same.
And he could get like 15, 16 Prem goals maybe 1 year.
I love both of them, by the way, though. So, you know what I mean? I honestly feel that Rodrigo is incredibly overrated. Remember, that league has Iago Aspas banging in goals. I'd rather keep Diaz and Gakpo. I do agree that I think that Rodrigo is overrated. Me and you have spoke about this plenty of times, Matt. I know he's a good player, but I do think that playing for Real Madrid is giving him peace.
Whoever sent that super chat, I'll call you out quickly. You're telling me you won't sign Kylian Mbappe because he scored goals in La Liga.
This is what I was gonna say.
Would you not sign Camavinga?
I don't think he was going that
tomorrow. You wouldn't take Pedri at Liverpool tomorrow. You wouldn't take Lamine Yamal.
Basically saying he wouldn't take Yamal either because Yamal plays in the Liga. So
yikes!
No, he just said he thinks that they're overrating him because in that league it is easier than other leagues because, as he said, Aspas was badding up that league. So
in the last how many years, how many times has Real Madrid won the Champions League? If the league is that bad, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but they made a deal with the devil. Everyone knows.
Also, Liam Delap was badding up this league. Michu was badding up this league. Stewart, the fucking Norwich striker, was badding up this league. Where do we go from here? You know? Hey, Timo Pukki was badding up the Premier League. He got like 10
Pukki, you know.
Shout out Pukki. Cristiano Ronaldo, 839 was badding up the league. He scored like 19 goals.
I think the mark of a forward in the Premier League, though, is someone who does it consistently. Because all these people have one season wonders, but it's only the players who do it, like Harry Kane, Mo Salah. They're the only ones that you know are legit that do it on a regular basis.
Yeah, but even Iago Aspas was like a 1 year wonder in La Liga. Like he would score like 12, 13 goals, but he ain't out here scoring 30, 40 for his logic to apply.
No, I think 1 year he did, you know. I think 1 year he actually got the top goal.
I think maybe I think maybe like 2 years in a row, but not like year after year after year. Like, see, like Messi, Ronaldo, dare I say, even Aguero when he was at Atletico. I know he wasn't there for a long time, but Aguero when he first got there, do you know what I mean? You can see the
here, Iago Aspas, 14-19. These are his 2 good seasons. 22-20. Now 14-14-18, 12-9-10.
No, I'm not gonna lie though, bruv. 18 is still a good amount.
No,
of
it's
goals.
good,
Yeah,
but
but that's just like your average Premier League striker. That ain't nothing special.
Nah, bro. 18 is a very high Premier League.
bro,
striker,
look at the
know?
Prem this season. You got Mbeumo's got 19, is it?
Yeah,
we said
I
19.
think
Yeah,
around
man,
18 to 20 is actually the average good amount in the Premier League. Like normally, like a good season for a Premier League striker is about 18 goals.
yeah.
Once you get into 20, it's quite like
Look,
it's
Wiesa got
high caliber in the Premier
19,
League.
Wood got 20, Mbeumo got 20, Haaland got 22, Isak got 23, Mo got 29. Even Watkins got 16 this year. Cunha got 15, Mateta 14, Strand, Jurgen Strand from Wolves 14.
I've 18 any striker that gets 18 goals in the Prem is having a good season though.
I can't believe
Terry says we will never buy Alvarez. He hates England. I heard it was his wife that wanted to leave England, but I hear you. I guess he has to respect his wife. The real McCoy, sell Jota, Nunez, and Chiesa, and buy Ekitike and Rodrigo.
No, but now you're selling too much.
Musul says Alvarez has a £500 million release clause. Isak has a £200 million release, a £200 million release clause.
I'm almost certain Alvarez doesn't have a 500 mil release clause.
No, I think isn't his release clause like 100?
I wouldn't be surprised if it is that high, though, bro. Them Spanish release clauses are getting crazy. Like your Miles is a billion.
It's only really Real Madrid and Barcelona that do that.
Maybe. John says they're calling our boy Perwitz or Harwitz. He's got to hit them with that beef jerky or something. It's a bit of a pause, but still.
That's a bit of pause.
We don't banter down, guys.
Do not let anybody talk to you about Wirtz, bro. If anyone's trying to downplay him, that is the most hating ass thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's because Shirky had such a good display yesterday. That's what it is. People are clutching.
People are getting carried away. It's disrespectful putting Kerkez and Nunez in the same sentence. Kerkez scored 97 goals and 28 assists in 100 games for Sporting. Nunez scored 42 goals and 11 assists in 85 games for Benfica. They are not the same.
Who's saying they are the same though?
A lot of people think that might be why everyone's got PTSD about.
Oh no, that is the reason.
Someone coming from the Portuguese league because like
Nunez that is the reason. League. But they're not the same at all. But if you want to do that metric, Bruno Fernandes come from the Portuguese league and has done brilliant.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, the Portuguese league seems to be where people are a bit more, because it's ranked 7th in the world. It's just a little bit like doing it in that league is a lot easier than doing it in other leagues. Kerkez had the most non-penalty goals in Europe, 34 last year. 45 goals, only 10 were pens. No, he scored 20 penalties last year, bro.
That's across all competitions.
Across
all competitions, he had more
that
than.
Includes 40. Like Portuguese Cup against Boa Vista. You get me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 10 penalties in the league ain't bad. It ain't bad at all.
Not if you're getting that amount of non-penalty goals.
Yeah. But I mean, you still have to score it as well, I guess. Like, even if you score 20 penalties in the league, shows that you've got very good bottle, because 20 times you had to come up against a goalkeeper. So
20 times Liverpool.
Might as well sign Crouch so he can score headers.
Hey, shout out Crouchy.
Big up Crouch.
Crouch was very underrated.
Crouch was good, bro.
For context, Kerkez has a £1 million release clause and wanted to go last year, but he was priced out. Sporting promised if he stayed one more year, he could go for 65 million euros. Yeah, I heard about that. It's actually only a gentleman's agreement. Apparently, he does actually have a very high release clause.
Yeah, he's available for £58 million.
But do you think that could be a sticking point then? Do you think maybe when you actually go to talk to Sporting, they're a bit more reluctant to agree on this gentleman's agreement when it's like...
Nah, I think they'll let him go. I think if they let him go, he'll throw a fit.
Be interesting. Kerkez 30% conversion rate, Ekitike 15, Sesko is 18.
Sesko shit.
The first footballer to be sold for 1 million was Trevor Francis in 1979. It's crazy how far we've come money-wise.
Yeah,
Ain't that
that
Spurs,
is
Trevor
mad.
Francis?
That's crazy.
Trevor Francis.
Wasn't that the Spurs player, Callum?
yeah.
Did he play for Spurs, Trevor Francis?
Trevor Front. Did he?
Bro, Trevor Francis, he was on commentary and
Spurs?
shit as well. I swear he's a Spurs player.
Why did I think it was Leeds, or am I thinking of someone else?
Actually, might be.
Oh no, I'm thinking of who was the manager when Leeds got relegated because of their money problems?
Trevor Francis. Hold on, let's see.
Oh, he never played for Spurs. That was a different one. Manchester City, Forest.
Oh,
Guys,
Yeah, he played for Birmingham. So he played for Birmingham City.
Yeah, I think it was
Detroit
Birmingham who
Express,
paid him
Forest,
Milford, weren't it?
Man
Was
City,
it Birmingham who
Sampdoria,
paid the
Atalanta, Rangers, QPR, Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah.
I think it was Birmingham who paid the 100 or paid the 1 mil for him, weren't it?
Yeah.
Guys, who's the ex-Arsenal legend who was manager of Leeds when they got relegated?
not George Graham. George Graham, no.
What? Not George Graham.
Not David O'Leary.
That's it, David O'Leary. I was
Yeah.
thinking of David O'Leary. Yeah.
Okay.
Was O'Leary there when they got relegated though?
Well, he was the manager when all the problems started, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he was there when they got
Had he left by the time they got relegated?
Yeah. I think so.
Man, like David O'Leary.
Oh, maybe Jerry Francis you're thinking of, who was manager of Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a different Francis. I don't know who though. It is what.
Hassam describing a woman or a prime Roy Keane.
Wow. So only Prime Roy Keane is passionate now. Fuck that.
50 Shades of Hassam.
Man said the 50 Shades of Sam is crazy, you know.
Oh man. In response to Hassam, I will take Mbappe today. Check Rodrigo's numbers. They are not impressive for being a right winger for Madrid. Gakpo and Diaz are currently better.
Let me respond to that. And Matt, can you please check DM because Ali is gonna write check DM 300 million times and it's gonna do my head in. Because you know how Ali moves. He just write Matt check DM, Matt check DM. He's gonna write now 500 times. So can you fucking check it? Because this guy will write it 1 million times now. Anyway, so we're in response to what the gentleman said there. You play a winger in a position where he can't do the most basic bitch winger move, which is cut in and shoot. He's gonna have reduced numbers. If Diaz played right wing all season, Diaz played left wing and striker up top, he had 13 goals. Gakpo played left wing all season, he had 10 goals. Now play Gakpo right wing all year, play Diaz right wing all year. I promise you they do not get 10 and 13. They get half of that. That's it.
I agree.
While I'm reading out this,
you realize for Rodrigo to score a goal, he either has to dribble past like 3-4 guys or like shoot with his weak foot like he did against Atletico, like banger with his weak foot. Come on, man.
You know, we'll have a little gander. Last super chat before we move on to the next topic. Before LFC were linked, no one was comparing Flirts to beef jerky. All of a sudden, beef jerky is the best player in the world. LOL, shameless.
I was comparing the two.
Cal takes very large exception to beef jerky. I can actually tell by his expression.
Because I don't. Shall I tell you what it is? I don't get the point in just ridiculing someone else because they play for another team. Like
they're not doing that.
Getting the better player. Like,
but what people are doing now is they're doing the whole, especially rivals. You lot are getting the worst player. Did you see the goal last night against
Why listen to those people?
No, but the premise now, and even from some,
Matt,
but the premise from some Liverpool fans, some, not all, just some, are saying, have we gone after the wrong player?
No,
I don't think we have.
If there was a drunk man walking down the street right now saying that I'm Mickey Mouse, would I listen to him? Would I engage in conversation, bro? No.
If you were drunk as well,
but the problem is, Cal, some people can
leave it.
Some people can be easily influenced. That's another. Do you not agree with that? Some people can be.
Good luck to them, innit? Like we're getting Wirtz. Like you know how much I rate Shirky, but we're getting Wirtz. We're getting Wirtz. Like
agreed.
Cool. You got Shirky, bad boy. I'd love him at Liverpool. We're getting Wirtz.
This is what I'm saying, bro.
The conversation's done. Unless Shirky comes to the Prem, unless he comes to the Prem and proves us wrong, right about now, no one can say nothing. Because there's not a
But you want to know where this comes from? Can I tell you honest opinion? I'll tell you genuinely where this comes from. This comes from Liverpool fans being accountants for the last 6 years. I'm not even exaggerating. Because before you started Kop-Ish, before I started Don Hussam, this is football at the time, I had to take an accountancy degree. Because you have to, when you speak to Liverpool fans, you have to speak about club finances and profit and revenue and how much sales make and is net spend real and how much is this player's agent gonna make, like as if we're trying to create a business, not a football team. So that's the reason why this comes from. I'll say this right now: Alexis McAllister is better value for money than Caicedo. If you told Chelsea fans swap, will they? No. Ryan Gravenberch is better value for money than Declan Rice. If you ask Arsenal fans, would they swap? No. Value for money means fuck all. We're Liverpool Football Club. Even if Wirtz is only 20% better than Sherky, that 20% could be 10 points, 12 points more.
Yeah.
That could be us winning the league.
Just on the Rodrigo thing before we move on, guys. I get that he's playing on the right wing, but would you guys say 10 assists in 52 games is enough for a Real Madrid winger? Just out of curiosity, because if you're on the right wing, there's no excuse for not assisting people. Maybe not scoring as many goals, but should you not, in all competitions, should you not have more than 10 goals in 52
What's
games?
his goals like, though, in the same...
10 assists, sorry. His goals are 14. He got 14
in how many
goals.
appearances? In 50?
52.
In 52. Is that in the league, I'm guessing?
Is that this season,
That's all comps. That's all comps.
Is that this season, Drift?
Yeah, that's this season just going.
But I think you're going off his worst season though. If you go back last year,
let me have a look at.
It's definitely better. 100% better than that.
Gakpo's only got 6 assists all season, and he's playing in his strongest position.
Last season, no. I just mean like, should Rodrigo be like higher up in the assists? Even if he can't get goals, should he be higher up in the assists?
I don't know if he can be, bro. Style of play, and it's like us playing Salah left. It's like us playing Salah left wing. You know his numbers diminish greatly if we start.
Not his
Salah.
assist 100%. Numbers, his goal numbers would, but I don't think his assist numbers.
Like I said, Gakpo hasn't got a ton of assists yet. But if you look at the way how Real Madrid playing
in the strongest position.
Last season, Rodrigo got 17 goals and 9 assists in all comps. Yeah. So he's actually worse last year.
Was he worse last year? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, really
that's more like trophy tax, because we remember Madrid winning the UCL last year.
22-23, which was the year before that. That was a better season. He got 19 goals and 11 assists that year.
What you got remember is that...
Rodrigo, Wirtz, and Salah.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Like, you want me to have more kids because that could be happening.
But Real Madrid play so lopsided. They literally just run down the left-hand side. Mbappe, I know Mbappe wasn't there before. It was still go through Vinicius, and do you know what I mean?
I don't. You know what? I think if we buy Rodrigo, we're just buying a good quality player. I don't think we're buying a stat man. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, I don't think he's a stat man. Like, because no one would call Gakpo.
Are you still doing devil's advocate? Callum is here now.
Bro,
we don't need to do this anymore.
If Rodrigo starts on the left, his numbers will definitely
come on, man. He can cut out and shoot directly.
That's his favored side. He was doing that at Santos when he broke through.
Yeah. He would be Rodrigo, Wirtz, Salah, and then whoever up top. What are we doing there?
Drift don't rate Rodrigo, you know. You don't really rate him like that. You don't rate him.
I don't. I'm honest. I don't rate him like
Drift
that.
Drift would rather Semenyo and them boy there. I'm telling you.
No, don't go that way.
He would, bro. Drift, you said some funky stuff about Rodrigo, you know. You think
he's a good player, but I don't think he's as good as
this is unacceptable.
So hold on. As a left winger, is he better than Gakpo and Diaz?
No, it's not better than Diaz. Not for me.
Based on what, Drift?
Remember, this is Diaz's first really good season.
A better left winger, and he's never played left wing for Real Madrid. So what are you basing him being a left
play left wing for Brazil? He has played left wing for Real Madrid,
and he's trash for Brazil.
Hold on,
Rodrigo is actually trash for Brazil.
When Vinny was out injured, who do you think was carrying that front line?
Who was on the left? Who was cooking?
Carrying them. There's a big difference between playing there.
He was scoring winning goals, bro.
He's carrying.
Rodrigo's a clutch footballer as well.
So is that a massive sample size? No, I'm just saying. I don't think he's played there enough for you lot to truly believe he's as great as what you're saying.
Drift. He's a better dribbler than Diaz. He's probably quicker than Diaz now.
No, he's not a better dribbler than Diaz.
Oh, I think he is.
No, he's not. He's not.
I think he is.
If you used to say this about
I can't
Cameron,
lie to you. I don't think he's a better dribbler than Diaz.
He's
but
not a better dribbler.
I think he is. I think he is.
No. Diaz is the better dribbler, but
no, he's not.
Rodrigo
No,
is better
have
than
you
Diaz,
seen what
man.
Rodrigo does on the right hand
Yeah,
side?
Habibi, Diaz is better in tight spaces.
Say that again.
Diaz is better in tight spaces.
No, he's not. He's not a
He
better
is.
dribbler.
Here we go.
He barely.
Everyone
beats
gonna
Where's
act-
Yards in
Yeah.
the chat? Yards, speak. I need
It's
to speak
fine.
to Yards.
It's fine. I don't.
Where's Yards?
Diaz
I don't
rarely
think-
beats his man on the wing. You do know this, right? He
Hey,
rarely.
big
But
Yards
no,
watching
that
anime as
isn't
well.
about ability because
Where's
we know
Yards? I
he
need to speak to
can.
Yards, man.
We keep on saying we know he can, so why doesn't he then?
Instruction, how the game's going, how he's feeling at the
He's
moment. I don't
instructed.
know.
He's a winger.
But
He's
Rodrigo
instructed how to
doesn't
dribble.
constantly beat his man, no. Pause. So
He-
like,
So this Diaz is this magical dribbler, and Slot says to him, "Your best attribute is dribbling. Don't do that anymore."
no, it's not just about that. Soboslai's best attribute is shooting, and he doesn't do it anymore. It's about what he's being asked to do on his role in the team, bro. And
So
how
you're
can we say that Diaz can't dribble? That's crazy.
When did I say Diaz can't dribble?
No, I'm seeing a couple people in the chat saying, yeah, "Wow." All I'm saying is
This
Diaz.
is so true. This is true.
Diaz
Look
is
at
slept
Yards.
on. He's
Drifty
slept
still vexed about Rodrigo's performance against Arsenal. I know.
on. No.
I'll
That was
never forget.
that just cemented for me.
Ever
that
since
he's
that.
not as
I remember
great as
because
he
I
used
never
to
forget
be.
that game. Drift had a crash out. He basically is like, all the Madrid players are crap. They're all crap. They can't. I was like, bro, they're having a bad season. Drift was
No,
down. You would have thought
I didn't say
was
they're
a-
all crap. I said a lot of them are overrated because I think Bellingham's overrated
Bro.
and I think Rodrigo's overrated.
Bro, Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Bellingham, Rodrigo, Tchouaméni, Camavinga,
Tchouaméni's
Valverde
overrated.
are all top players. However high you rate them, but they're all top players, you know.
Yeah,
all
but they're
top
just overrated.
No, I agree.
Too
because
many
I don't-
Bellingham and Rodrigo are overrated.
Hold on,
People act
Tchouaméni-
like they're the best players in the world and they're not.
hold on,
Rodrigo,
wait there.
so I'll go
Rodrigo
for-
is one of the best left. All right,
Rodrigo.
No,
I
all
don't-
right, so if Rodrigo is so good, Matt, all jokes aside, if Rodrigo is so good, how comes he isn't even remotely within the Brazil squad, which is a terrible squad, by the way, seen as a key player?
Vinny and
or-
Rafinha.
I can't answer that. But the
Hold
whole,
on,
but
hold
look
on,
at
wait.
Vinicius though.
Vinicius and Rafinha, two of the best wingers in world football.
They don't do nothing for Brazil
but
either.
they have responsibility and people put expectation on them.
Responsibility?
Rodrigo has no expectation for Brazil whatsoever.
Are you
Because they
crazy,
have
bro?
Vinny
Neymar
and
said he's the one who
Rafinha.
should have the number 10 shirt. What
No,
are we doing
forget
here?
Neymar. I'm talking about the nation, the
forget
manager.
Neymar, what, Brazil's greatest ever
relied
goal
on
scorer.
Rodrigo.
Wait, Drift. Can you name me a
Come
better
on,
left
man.
wing? Can you name me a better left wing in world football than Vinicius Jr.?
Not many, no.
How many would you say?
Maybe not anyone.
Okay, so that's your words, not mine. So if he's
Yeah.
not better than, I'm saying he's not better than Vinny left wing. So he's not going to start ahead of Vinny.
Mm.
Rafinha right wing. Is Rodrigo better than Rafinha right wing?
No.
Okay. How many wingers are there in world football better than Rafinha right now?
Currently, not many.
So
Mo.
him not
More
starting
than
before-
Yamal, maybe.
No, but bro,
No,
we're talking
no,
about
let-
over the
let-
last
let me
few
not-
years. Rafinha weren't balling out last year. Do you know what I mean? Like he weren't balling out.
By the way,
last year.
Vinicius, I swear Vinicius had like 6 goals in 6 years for Brazil anyway.
And Vinicius don't
yeah,
play
he's
well for Brazil, but he's got an
But who does?
expectancy.
Nobody does for the premise
does?
of Brazil. No one since like the old guard have kind of left here. No one's really stepped up.
No, but the
that's why.
expectancy, bro, I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
expect Rafinha
No, of
and
course.
they
I
expect
agree.
Vinny. Nobody in Brazil expects Rodrigo to ball out. I'd say if he's this great player,
Yeah,
why don't Brazil even have an expectation of him?
bro. What you don't think they're asking Rafinha, who's in Ballon d'Or conversations, to take his Barcelona form to Brazil? Not even he can do it, bro. All of them are it's I don't know what it is. It's a mental pressure for all of them. None of them, when they play for their country, do well enough. In my opinion, none of them.
Like, again, I think he's good. I just think he's
Yeah.
overrated. Both things can be true at the same time. You
No,
can
I
be
agree,
good
I
and
agree.
overrated.
But I think you're underrating him. If you're saying
I
that
think
Diaz is a better left winger than him nowadays, then that's underrating him.
No, I think that's you underrating Diaz.
How?
No, but I think Diaz is a good player. I just
Because
think Rodrigo's better.
I don't see enough evidence from Rodrigo to suggest that he'd be a better.
We haven't
left
seen
winger.
him play there enough. That's the problem because of the Vinicius
Yeah.
thing. Now,
So
if he gets the opportunity,
it's
and we're
an
simply doing
assumption.
guesswork here, I feel like if he gets the opportunity to play left wing, I do believe he will cook. But I do have
And
to
he
go
might,
now,
and
guys.
he might. I'm not saying he won't, but I'm just saying Diaz and Gakpo both got 26 GA. So we physically saw it happen, and there is no guarantee Rodrigo will get 26.
Yeah, but if
GA
Rodrigo
in the
plays
Premier
with
League.
Salah left wing, I think he can
Diaz
get
played
that
centre
20
forward.
goals.
Sure,
He
he
gets
and
forward
I'll be
in
honest with you,
one
because
He only
you
played
rate-
centre forward 15 times, Cal. He played left wing
Only.
30 times, so he
And
played
look how
left
many,
wing
and how many
twice
goals
as
did he
much.
get? And how many goals did he get at centre forward?
I think it was 5. I think he got a
More
centre
than that,
forward.
bro. Have a look.
But you know what it is though? I think we all do this, yeah. Like
Just
see
before you
when
go, Matt, guys, I've got to go
Yeah.
now. I apologize because
Nah,
it's
big
8
up,
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go
big
start.
up, yeah,
Big up
big
Farah
up,
as well, bro.
Come on, man,
Got to
big
do.
up, man.
Appreciate you guys. You
Big
guys
up,
can-
man.
Love as always. Big up,
Big up.
G.
I want to say this, yeah. Sometimes, like we all do it in it. Like we all kind of like sometimes overrate plays that they're one of our favorite players. We all do it at times. The reason I say that, Jeff, because I know obviously you rate Diaz probably higher than like how me and Carl rate him, but we still think he's a good player. But the reason why I say sometimes it's hard to kind of gauge where you're at is because, all right, so you rate Diaz probably one of the best left wingers in Europe. But then when Carl said to you, like, I don't know, 3, 4, 6 months ago, he was like, would you swap him for Crowther? You were like, no. And like, has your opinion changed, or do you still feel like, nah, you still
No, I
wouldn't
still
swap?
think him and Kvaratskhelia are very similar.
They're not the same, bro.
But then, see, this is
Yeah,
what I'm
No,
trying to gauge.
but this is you lot's opinion because I rate Diaz higher. I'm
No,
not
but-
bringing Kvaratskhelia
No,
down.
but what
I think
No,
Diaz
but I
is
feel,
better
I
than
feel
you.
like you're being biased because he's a Liverpool player. If that's the case,
Yeah.
No, but I feel like you're being biased because you love
What?
Crowther. That's the
No,
same
no,
friend.
don't.
No,
don't.
Like, you've
I
loved
love
Crowther
Diaz.
for like
Where,
4
where's
years,
Fab
so
Bamba?
like
Yeah, but I've been justified in it because
So
look what he's
people are
doing.
disgusting.
no, but Kvaratskelia's numbers for the last few years haven't been great.
It's not. It's just his numbers, though. You see how he can dominate games as well.
Diaz dominates games. There's
It
games
doesn't-
in Diaz is like that. And Diaz has got Mo playing with him. Kvaratskhelia, when he was at Napoli, didn't really have anyone else. So he
And
stood
Osimhen.
out.
He had Osimhen.
Arsenal, just a
No,
quick
but
one,
Osimhen's
guys.
a striker. I mean, like, as the wingers.
Arsenal in advanced talks to sign Sesko. This is from Fabrizio just now. Discussions
Are
underway.
you, do you think he's the one who's the least threatening out of all the people they could get?
100%.
Yes. So this doesn't scare me. Like he could still be good, by the way. He could still surprise me and get like 20 goals. I'm like, okay, I got that one wrong. Fair play. But he doesn't scare me. That's not for me. That's not scary.
How much are they having to pay for him, bro?
Didn't say. It just says
60
understand
odd,
Arsenal now advancing negotiations for Sesko after initial contract talks. Concrete talks reported last week. Discussions are underway and proceeding well between all parties involved, player and clubs. No agreement yet are expected this weekend, but advancing. So that's definitely their target. That's the striker that they're.
What I will say,
he
Sesko-
could get good in the future.
I was going to say, Sesko right now isn't a problem. Sesko in 2-3 years could be a huge problem.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll laugh now, but we still got to check our rear view mirrors still.
This is why we need to get.
Big up Anfield Road. I respect that, G. He's right. My views always seem like they're crazy until the prophecy comes true, and most of the time it does. So
It doesn't most
it's
of the
fine.
time.
We'll wait.
How?
We're all 50-50, bro.
There's so many times when people. We just talked about one yesterday, Cal. I got attacked when I said that Benjamin Mendy was not a great goalkeeper,
No,
and
Eduardo.
everyone was like, "What are you talking about, Jeff?
All right,
Where
but
the
you also
hell is
said-
he now?"
All right, but you also said Jamal Lewis will be brilliant.
Who's Jamal Lewis again?
Exactly.
You don't even. Do you know what else you said? Do you know what else you
No,
said?
honestly, who is Jamal Lewis?
Remember this one, Kai. You ready for this?
And
You
I don't
also-
even remember saying that.
Bruv,
Bruv.
Jamal Lewis is the left back we almost signed instead of Simicast.
Drift. Do you know who you wanted Liverpool to sign at
No,
centre
it
back?
wasn't me propping up Jamal Lewis.
What? Drift, don't do
Carl,
this.
Carl,
Everybody
wait,
thought
Carl,
Jamal Lewis
Carl,
was
wait for this,
good
wait
at
for
the
this.
time. It wasn't just me. Everybody
He's
thought
forgetting
he
about
was
his
good.
Leicester centre back. Remember, you wanted Soyuncu. Where is he, bro? Soyuncu,
Yeah.
remember?
Everybody gets things wrong every now and
That's-
again. Let me not
that's
give
what
the
we're
list of who
saying.
you
No
lot
one's-
got wrong.
No one's
50-50,
gospel. You
bro.
make it seem like what you say. It always.
No, but there are so
We've
many
all had
times when
howlers.
what I say comes true, though. So it
And
outweighs
there's so
the
many-
few bad times.
Not few, bro. All of us say howlers. All of us say good things, bro.
Facts.
All right.
50-50 for everybody.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if we sell Diaz. We'll see who misses him, because I'm telling you, we will
Who
miss
wants
him.
to sell Diaz here, though?
No one wants to sell him. That's the killer.
A large portion of our fan base don't rate him.
Drift, you
A
also said Ben
large
Doak was the
portion don't
truth,
rate
bro.
him.
You said Ben Doak was the
Ben
truth.
Doak was the backup for Salah.
Ben Doak played brilliantly last season. This ain't the time to shit on Ben Doak.
No.
He went Middlesbrough and he was brilliant
This
last
was
season.
not last.
That's why teams want him now. What are we talking about? And he's still only, what, 18?
You wanted Ben Doak to be the backup to Salah. This is like I say about 2 seasons ago.
Because FSG, that's how they move. Like,
come on, Drift.
You've got to accommodate yourself
what I'm
for
saying,
what you have,
bruv,
right?
I have howlers, bruv. Cow has howlers. We all have howlers, bro.
Ben Doak as a backup's not a howler. He could have still done it. Look how good of a season he had for Middlesbrough. Why are we acting like he's some bum? What, you don't rate
Drift, at the time you said we don't need anyone else because Ben Doak is.
No, I didn't say we don't need anyone else.
You said he's one of the best dribblers in the league. You said he's one of the best dribblers in the league. You said he was one of the best dribblers in the league, Drift.
No, I never said that.
Okay.
I've never said Ben Doak is one of the best dribblers in the league. I've never said that. No,
you know what?
But I will stand by it. I think he was at that time. He was a good option because you know what our owners are like. You know what our owners are like.
I'm gonna say it in the private chat.
So it is what it is. Anyway, it's all right. You lot can hate.
I'm not hating, bro.
It's not hating, bro. I'm hating. By saying everyone gets things wrong.
Let me get through these last couple super chats. Rodrigo has 32 La Liga goals in 172 appearances. That's statistically, that's terrible. That is actually terrible. Every single time, Matt, literally, every single time. For fuck's sake.
Just a reminder, innit?
Agree with Drip. It's not even a bad take. It's just time's moved on, so it looks weird now. Agree with Drip. If Diaz plays for Real Madrid,
Drift. You know, you saying that is like me saying you're wrong about Mendy then, because at the time when you were saying Mendy was rubbish, he was outstanding. But as time progressed, you were proven.
No, I never said he was rubbish. I said he was overrated, and this is just like it's just a little bias right now. He's not a great goalkeeper.
So, but the point still stands. At the time when I was saying no, he's not overrated. He's been brilliant.
You talking about the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
But the goalkeeper was immense for 1 year or season and a half.
That thing that Matt just put in the chat, that's an attribute that means that your form and how well your career goes and stuff like that is irrelevant to that basic attribute. How good is that attribute? It's not the same as your overall, are you a great goalkeeper?
No, but the argument was he just never was at any given time.
Because if I had not to go into it, but that would be like me saying Balotelli's got a brilliant first touch. Everybody would be like thinking about his career not being great, but be like, no, but we're just talking about his touch. Balotelli had his career.
No, we don't agree with you though, because everyone said he. No.
You know what I mean? Like, so it depends what way you look at it.
No. It's more of a thing of what you just said there. Everyone actually agreed because everyone would just go, yeah, technically Balotelli was sound. It was just his work rate that let him down. So that's wrong.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, an attribute isn't based on your career. So if you talk about like, because if somebody said they think Mendy has a good reach or something, I'll be like, fair enough. But they're saying he's a great goalkeeper, and a great goalkeeper isn't a flash in the pan. That's all I'm saying. You can't be a flash in the pan if you're a great goalkeeper. At the time,
he was playing great though.
Yeah, he had a one-season wonder, man. It is what it is. JS says, I agree with Drift. If Diaz played for Real Madrid, our fans would be gassing him up. When he goes Barca, watch his numbers skyrocket under Flick. I have always said that. I think if Diaz played for another team, our fans would rate him more than because he's a Liverpool. It's weird. It's like because he's ours already, people don't appreciate it. It's weird.
Can I ask a question though? Would we not say that Klopp is one of the most attack-minded managers we've ever seen in our lifetime?
And prior to the knee injury, Diaz was looking like one of the best attackers we'd had in the Premier League. I agree that something did change after that knee injury.
No, I agree, but we're also talking about his numbers skyrocketing, right? If he
said skyrocket at Barcelona. He said.
But they might do because it's an easier league. But we're talking about the Premier.
But that's what we're rating Rodrigo against, playing in that same league. I think that's
and
what
Champions League. We're also rating him on Champions League as well, where he's come up clutch so many times for Real Madrid.
I know, but his goals in the Champions League aren't good. He's had clutch moments, I agree with that, but his numbers aren't impressive in the Champions League.
But he's also been very good for that. That's what I'm saying. He's also been brilliant for Real Madrid in the Champions League.
I think he's had some clutch moments. I don't think he's been brilliant. I think his clutch moments are what stick in people's mind, not consistent performances. I watch Real Madrid every Champions League, and Rodrigo has had some unbelievably clutch moments, but he's not consistently good in the Champions League. He's not. He has a lot of games he goes missing in the Champions League. A lot. I watch Real Madrid all the time. I'm not basing this off highlights. I actually watch Real Madrid quite a lot.
So do I.
And I just don't. I think Rodrigo's clutch, but I don't think he's great.
Drift,
I don't think he's as good as people say he is.
Matt watches them even more than you do, though.
Yeah, but he has a bias because he actually loves Rodrigo, so he is watching it with tinted glasses.
I'm not biased. I'm just saying that if you
bias for Diaz, then.
But if I'm sitting here saying if I think someone's better,
at least Diaz is doing it in the Prem for Liverpool already. I'm saying I don't know if Rodrigo translates that to the Prem for Liverpool.
No, but it's not biasness. I just think Rodrigo is genuinely better than what Diaz is right now. But I could also sit here and say McAllister's better than Bellingham. Like, there's no bias. It's just if I think someone's better, I think they're better whoever they play for.
And I'm not even angry at you for thinking.
Because do you know what's so crazy?
It's wild that you think that.
Here's what can happen sometimes. Sometimes people don't realize what players can do. Prime example. Do you remember my shouts from years ago about Rafinha? And I got cooked for saying that. Look at Rafinha now. Ballon d'Or contention.
People didn't cook you for it. When he was at Leeds, people rated him.
Nah, people were like, he's not the guy. Remember, I said I wanted him to be the Salah replacement because at one point we were going to sell Salah.
No, but I think there was people that agreed.
No,
with
no one
really.
There were, man. It was split. It was just split between.
It wasn't wild. People weren't thinking you were being stupid.
No, sorry, it was just me that wanted Rafinha. Remember?
No,
and people were saying he was overrated. I remember,
bro. No, because on the channel, I was saying Pedro Neto. You were saying Rafinha. Drift started off as Rafinha. Then moved to Pedro Neto. Then Pedro got the bad injury, and Drift was like, if Salah goes, it should be Rafinha.
No, I don't think Drift was Rafinha. Drift was
right.
Neto and Elise.
No, I was Elise.
Yeah,
sorry, you was Elise.
I was Elise.
Yeah, I was Rodrigo.
I swear I was the only one saying Rafinha. I remember that, bro.
No, you were the first to say Rafinha, but then Drift was also then came onto your side of it, and then I was like, I think it's Neto. I think Rafinha's sick. I just thought Neto was better at the time. Neto got the injury, then I was like, yeah, it should be Rafinha if Salah goes.
I have to go back and watch the tapes, you know.
Remember,
what Cal's saying is right. I was Neto, but then Neto.
Someone go.
And then Elise didn't really break through until Rafinha left to go Barca, and that's when I was like, Elise. But I remember even before that, I was saying Moussa Diaby as well.
But what I'm saying is, point still stands. Sometimes you get players that you just know they're gonna be serious. He was one of them players.
And Rafinha did have 2 years in Barcelona where he didn't do much as well, Matt. You have to be honest with that.
No, he was just decent. He just wasn't amazing. Go check his numbers. He was just decent. He wasn't.
No, but his overall performances were like genuinely seen as a disappointment. Like he wasn't like this season was a surprise. Nobody saw him.
But you got to remember. No, but he still won a title with Xavi, and not only that.
Yeah, he wasn't crap, but he wasn't good, bro. Standing out though. Do you know what I mean?
No, he wasn't crazy. But look what he's doing now.
Plus
Man saw that, bro.
Barca were all over the place then as well.
Man saw that from day. He's always going to
play. But you know, I don't think people saw him doing this year. He's definitely exceeded expectation.
I knew that he would be serious. Did I think he'd be Ballon d'Or normally? No, I didn't. But I knew he'd be sick though. 100.
And this last super chat, Hussein says, left wing Rodrigo, striker Isak, right wing Salah, attacking midfield Wirtz would be my dream. Liverpool, like I think that would be most people's dream.
I'd be bricked up all season.
Do you know how much money that would be?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a lot, Christian, and I hate to ask this because
sorry to cut you, Drift. The only problem with that is who would be the rotation. I mean, Sobo would be the backup number 10 then. Gakpo would be the backup left winger.
Diaz backup number 9.
Yeah, so just need some
backup right.
Oh yeah, run it.
But let me ask you like an FSG question though.
As soon as we mentioned Diaz, big up Chris Angel in the chat. I just see him now, you know. Big up Chris, you know.
Would you guys say this is an FSG question? It would be feasible to do that wage structurally. Would Liverpool actually, because you can imagine what this would do to our wage structure.
It'll be fine.
All we gotta do is just remove.
Answer without the fantasy of it.
No, but all you gotta do is just remove their man off the books. Take their man off the books, like JW, Tom Ward, because that's why the wages are inflated.
You're still doubting the man, then, bro. What are we doing there?
Just take them off, and the wages go down, bro.
Brother, I said it years ago. FSG till you know the rest. We're outside, baby. We're outside, baby.
Because I'll be real, Carl. Carl, be careful. Because I will say this. You know, when we went to the parade,
yeah.
Was the Wirtz had the Wirtz news broke? It had, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't
had,
remember everyone kept on coming up to me. Telling me not to
Bro,
say his
I'll
name.
say this though. Since you went on Hassam's show and said what you said, the deal just slowed down. It's still gonna happen, but it's slowed down though.
Yeah, slow
I
down.
think it's gonna happen as well.
Yeah, when you get to traffic lights, you got to slow down, and then when it goes green again, you go in it. Like,
but the traffic light has been green for a minute. That's the problem.
Right up. We're gonna see it Wednesday or Friday next week. Remember, I said it.
Oh, for flip's sake. Why would you give a day, bro? Just
Wednesday
say
or
next
Friday.
week, man.
Wirtz Wednesday or Florian Friday. Mark it down. My lot don't let me down. I don't know about you lot, but my lot don't let me down.
I swear to God. I swear to God, if we don't,
baby.
I think we're getting Wirtz, but we just gotta chill out until it's
No,
done.
no, Phil, we're getting Wirtz, but I'm saying to get Rodrigo and Isak as well, who would both be on
We're not gonna get both. I mean, that's like.
No, I'm just saying for wage structurally, it wouldn't even happen that way, would it, guys? Like, we're not going to give 250 to Isak, 250 to Rodrigo, 300 to Wirtz. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, no, that's calm. Rodrigo this summer, Isak next. Just run it.
You could get one this summer, one next summer. You could do that.
Possibly.
Run it, man.
Because that means more. Yeah, because people are still going to leave even next year. Maybe even Jota leaves next year. I don't know. That's another person off the wage bill. It's about replacing the wages, isn't it? The problem is, though,
you need to get on boat, bro. Like,
it's because Diaz is on a low wage. You don't
translate. Said we'll spend money this way. Trust me, I'm on board, but I just think we can't go from 0 to 100. To sign Isak, Rodrigo, and Wirtz in one summer is like Real Madrid level shit.
We've gone
you
from
you can't promise us a big summer, brother, and then moan about a big summer potentially happening.
We're having a big summer, but that's the
you know, Drift down earlier on today.
That's like I don't even know what that is. That's a humongous summer. That's like
I don't know how.
That's an obese
works,
summer. That's crazy, bro.
Drift said this. He was the first one to say we have a massive summer, yeah. Then earlier on today, Drift does the thing of but if we sign too many players, it might unbalance the team. Brother, let's just spend.
Advocate, Matt. I told you I had to play devil's advocate. I was
I don't have to. Was that big devil's advocate though?
Of course, I'm the host. That's why I said it's exhausting. I don't like.
I was gonna say we've gone from forget spending G to forever spending G.
Come on.
That's what we're doing. Let's roll with it. Come on, man.
But yeah, no, the devil's advocate thing ain't fun. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. So it is. Quick
question. If we get Florian Wirtz, obviously Frimpong's done. We should get Kerkez, and say we get Rodrigo. Are you FSG in Drift?
Wrong and strong.
One more window like that.
There it is. Wow, wrong and strong, bro. Wrong and strong.
No. One summer can't completely turn me.
Let this train leave me behind, bro.
But no, one more, Matt. One more window that, and then I would be. Yeah, only one can't. You know what I mean? I'll be
that as well. You can be hoodwinked, innit? You can.
Yeah. I could be and you know what I will do after this summer though. If we do all of that, I will publicly apologize to Richard Hughes.
We accept.
I'm not. All right, I'm gonna say this though. If he gets
acting like he's never said anything about Richard.
No, bro. Do you know I was gonna ask you? Are you ready to take what he said about Edwards? If we sign Wirtz?
Yeah. Talk the talk, man. Because I got to go.
Are you ready to take back what he said about Edwards if we get Wirtz? Because remember, the premise was
Edwards and Hughes, 100%.
Because the premise was they ain't done nothing.
Hold on. You lot acting like both of you were standing there licking off shots with me. Why are we acting like I'm the only one?
Drift,
hold on a minute.
Drift, this is you. Your man's GOAT, you know. It's your man's GOAT, yeah. Like, he ain't done nothing. He ain't signed no contracts. We ain't got no players.
And at the time he hadn't.
I was like, all right, cool.
At the time he hadn't.
2 have renewed. So I understand 2 players have renewed.
You was letting off shots with me, man. I'm the only one who did the drive-by.
But what I'm saying now,
you lot are actually sitting there like I'm the only one who did the drive-by.
I could be shameless though. I'm not hosting.
I was driving the car and you were leaning out the window with me, Matt. Why on earth are you acting like I was the only one part of the drive?
I remember that. What I'm saying is,
if we get the whole time, bro.
If we get Florian,
wearing a wire the whole time.
But you know what though? If we get Florian Wirtz, if all jokes aside, would your opinion change though, or would it start changing? Mine would start changing if I'm being honest. Would it start changing? If you get Florian Wirtz?
my opinion's already changing about Hughes. As soon as he got Salah and Virgil done.
Fair play.
Once you got Salah and Virgil done, my opinion started to already change. And everyone can crash out on me if they want. We were all annoyed with Richard Hughes. I don't know why everyone's acting like we weren't all annoyed.
No, but what I'm saying is, even like, see if they get Florian Wirtz, I've got to kind of change my stance because I was cussing them out as well, bro. Man, I have to say, like, you know
you're
what?
talking to the person who had the most confidence going into the window. You and Cal looked me in my eyes like I was a crazy person when I said we're going to spend big.
And on that note, I've got to shoot now, bro. I got to school run. Hear it. Let's wrap up the show. Quick. I got to get the kids in.
Anyway,
No, big one thing.
No. We're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up there on that note. The truth shall always come to light, people. Big up your damn selves as always. Big up your damn selves, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Big up Hassam. Hopefully next week we'll be back to full court. Tom will be back as well. But no, people, it's been a pleasure. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoy your weekend. We should have some stuff for you guys over the weekend as well. So keep those notifications on. Subscribe if you're new, and big up your damn selves each and every time. Until next time, people, Diaz is better than Rodrigo, and we're out. Peace.
It's butter crazy.